Welcome to the U.S. Zone's Holiday Speaker Jam event. Let's open this meeting with a moment of silence, please. Actually, my name's Shane. I'm an addict. Let's open this meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference, just for today. A couple of quick housekeeping things. This event is a way for us to come together in unity to celebrate the new year. It is not a fundraising event. If you are inspired to contribute, please donate to your home group or area. This event will be live streamed. If you are concerned about personal anonymity, please turn your video off. To view the live stream, click on the blue link. I am going to need a co-host to take over waiting room responsibilities, please. And
I got it, Shane.
we're going to have Claudia, and I'm going to move my thing out of the way here. We're going to have Claudia please read for us who is an addict.
Hi, I'm Claudia. I'm a grateful recovering addict. Who is an addict? Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know. Our whole life and thinking was centered in drugs in one form or another. The getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. We live to use and use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of a continuing progressive illness whose ends are always the same: jails, institutions, and death. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Johnny and I'm an addict.
Johnny.
Hi. We do recover. When at the end of the road, we find that we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs. We all face the same dilemma. What is there left to do? There seems to be this alternative: either go on as best we can to the bitter ends, jails, institution, or death, or find a new way to live. In years gone by, very few addicts ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way is improving itself in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. It is a simple spiritual, not religious program known as Narcotics Anonymous.
Lee, you want to introduce the first speaker?
Absolutely. I'm Lee. I'm an addict, and I'm very grateful to be an addict. And some people were sharing earlier in the gratitude portion of open mic, and I heard people talking about how even during the pandemic, we have come together as a fellowship. And I met this lady through my home group Zoom meeting, and she's awesome. And so I'm not gonna go much further. Please help me welcome Alicia H. from Maryland, you guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm an addict named Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
Really good to be here. I want to thank Lee and the Zonal Forum. It's quite an honor to be asked to share your experience, strength, and hope. And so, you know, I always get very nervous. I called my sponsor before this and chatted with her, and you know, she said a prayer with me, and because I get so, like, the disease really sinks in and says, man, you're going to be in front of all those people and they are not going to hear anything you want to say. But you know what, there are times when I am very grateful that I am an addict, and I have to say, the beginning of this pandemic, I was really grateful, because you know what, we're really some pretty kick-ass people. I mean, didn't we get it together really quick and get this virtual meeting forum up and going, and we were on it and there, and I have met so many incredible people all around the world through this. For that, I am so totally grateful. I think about, if I wasn't an addict and didn't have this forum, I'd probably be, you know, 100 pounds overweight, sitting on my couch on Netflix. And I've been to more meetings in the past 9 months probably than I have in my whole recovery. So just a little bit about myself. So I have 3 clean dates. My first one was October 8th, 1982. My second one was February 6th. No, I'm sorry, February 5th, 06. And my third clean date is January 6th, 2015. So I had about a 10-year run in between there, so you can figure that out. I relapsed twice with time. Both times it was because I detached. I got away from this program. You know, didn't the first time, you know, I really thought that well, I had it, you know, I had it over 12 years clean, and oh, I'm good. You know, the way I grew up, I wasn't exposed to a lot. I grew up in this place called Glen Burnie that, you know, if you tell people you're from Glen Burnie, they're like, oh. And so I met a man in recovery. We married. He was a successful man, had lots of money. I lived a very wonderful life for a long time. Really wasn't happy. Things changed. I relapsed and stayed out for quite some time. And then once I realized what was going on, I ended up in a treatment center, which I hadn't done the first time, didn't stay there. And anyway, got clean 9 years later. I did it again. And both times it was just because I detached. Well, I have to tell you that, you know, I am so thankful that Narcotics Anonymous, that's where I got clean the first time back in 1982. That was where it instilled in me, and I knew where I needed to come back to. It's home to me. I really believe, I'm not going to say, oh, I've got it this time, because any of us, I don't care how much time you have, can lose it just that quick. But something happened to me, and I know I'm an addict, man. I need all of us. I need this program. I need the 12 steps. You know, and for me, in order for me, like, to be thankful, I have to work at my recovery all the time. And one of my ways of showing my gratitude is reaching out, doing service work, helping another addict. And there's been so much, you know, so many people that have needed help this time of through all this pandemic stuff, you know. And I just am so grateful when I think about, you know, where I could be and where I am today. I have found a God of my understanding in this program. I was one of the addicts that came in that didn't want to, I couldn't even hear God. Don't even say the word, you know, when the prayer would go on, I would like close it out. If somebody was sharing any kind of experience with God, I blocked it out. It's like I just shut down. I didn't want to hear it. And when I came in, the only prayer I could say, and I didn't know who I was saying it to, but I just would say it, was the 3rd step prayer, because that's all I knew. Take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live. There were the 3 basic things I needed. And so I began to start to pray to something, didn't know, but things started happening for me. And as the years rolled on, as I opened up more and more, I'd say in the past 2 years, it's just really opened up for me. And I have this God of my understanding that is so incredible. And I have this faith and belief that I never imagined. the goodness and the blessings that are in my life today, I just, it still amazes me when I can pray, and I try and pray for God's will for me, because I can get caught up in, what I want. Well, I really, really want this. And yeah, I want it. But what I've learned is if it's not God's will for me, it's not going to work out. And so I really work hard at praying for God's will for me. But over the time of doing that, it built my faith and trust. And I thought, wow, you know what? Must be something, because it's working. So when I pray and when I ask and good things come and the blessings come, wow. So for that, it just fills me with joy. The women that I have in my life, I can't even tell you. We have such, my network of women here is such a core. I had about 9 years ago, I had moved down to Florida to be with an aunt who was dying of cancer. And after she passed, about 6 months after I was there, I decided to stay. And it was all good for a while. I got involved in the program down there. And then that's when I slowly started to fade off. I relapsed while I was down there and came back home. But it was, and you can get clean anywhere and you can build a life anywhere. For me, this was, when I came back to Maryland, because it was like, these are my people. This is where I got clean. I've had friends, in the program since 82. And I came back home, and the connection is just, and like I said, you can get clean anywhere and you can make friends anywhere. I know that because I've said it before, I made so many friends through this virtual thing. And I think about, my life, the way it was. So, and sometimes, because see, when I had gotten married, and I got married to that man, and I had all those things that I had never had before. I didn't have that stuff. You know what I mean? I was, I like to shoot heroin, and I didn't, and so like sometimes I would get, because I don't have those things now. I'm not Mrs. anymore. And I just am very grateful for what I do have. I have a roof over my head. I'm clean. I mean, that's number one. I have a roof over my head. Well, I can sit in here with this goofy hat on my head, and and talk to everybody. So I'm really grateful for that, because I can tell you a few years ago, I would, so I was so self-absorbed. Man, I'm so glad about that too. I don't have to be self-absorbed anymore. Man, isn't that an awesome feeling? And and it took me a long time, because number one, my self-esteem and my self-worth was really in the shithole. And that's taken me a long time. I'm way better, but I'm not at the tip top where I can go, man, you're a dynamite. I love you. I'm not one of those that I can stand in the mirror and do that quite yet. But I am so much better about it. And so I have a really good dear friend, who actually, that's how this program is, turned me on to the New Orleans meeting, where I met Lee and all those fabulous people there. And so she's in the hospital right now, on a ventilator, due to this COVID thing. And she's like you know, she's really, really involved. Um, she was on the zonal forum, and she does just a really awesome addict and service junkie. And so, you know, we have started this prayer vigil for her every day, her and her husband. And so, you know, I know that like she would probably be a part of this tonight. Kind of makes me, you know, a little melancholy. Um, but I know, you know, I know she's going to get better, and she'll be here again. And so anyway, you know, I'm really fortunate um, that in like, especially like in our area, we have such a really strong NA here. I just it's really, the Baltimore area is just really incredible. And our area is Bay Area, which is a sprout off of the Baltimore area. When I first got clean, we were all the Baltimore area because it was so small. And you know, we gosh, I think we have probably about 70 meetings in our area now a week. And it's, you know, I just I can't say enough about Narcotics Anonymous. The 12 steps, which I have a hard time with because I'm not a writer. I'm not a you know, sit down and write and write and write. My answers to those questions are very short and sweet. And but I do it. I do it reluctantly. I do it slowly, but I do it because I want to change. I want to be that person, the best person that I can be. I want to keep growing. I want to keep learning. And you know, I don't ever want to be that person that I was. That one that could look you in the eye and lie to you, that one that would steal from you, you know, that just didn't care about you. And so today I do care about others. And that's one thing I notice about myself, that I do care about others where I didn't before. And it's, you know, working the steps is one thing, living them in your life is another. And I really feel like I do that. You know, just the little things, like when you get too much change, you give it back. And you know, you know, that needs help, you ask, do they need help? If somebody's on the side of the road, those type of things that, you know, before I might pull over on the side of the road, but I was going to say, you know, could I get any money from you? Or, you know, definitely wasn't to pull over and help you. So those, you know, for that, I'm totally grateful that I'm not that person. I have this wonderful sponsor today who has taught me so much. She's the one that really helped me with finding a God of my understanding, and helped me to have the faith and the belief. And thank God for her, man, I'm telling you, because I still would be very lost. I believe that, and you can have whatever it is that connects you, get it. But it wasn't really until I had that I could really start to feel the peace within. And not that, look, we all know life is life, and it's not always a bowl full of cherries. It's not all great and joyful, but it's how we deal with it, and what you know, what we do in those situations. Do we go through it gracefully? Do we lose our shit? And you know, I try to go through it gracefully. There are times when I lose my shit. I have a crack house next door to me. They're not exactly a crack house, but they're a bunch of drug addicts. And look, I know, but for the grace of God. But I got a little angry one day when the drug dealer was coming, and he was flying down the road, and I screamed at him, and he got out of the car, and we were in each other's face, and my girlfriend was like you know, and I was like, my spirituality, everything just went just right out the window. And I was up in this guy's face, like, you slow down, I don't need your shit around here. You know, it's like, who was that? But you know what I mean? Just that quick. If I don't stay on it constantly and be aware of my thinking, that girl from Glen Burnie can come right out, and she's a hand, a little bit to handle. So you know, today I'm just so thankful, you know. And I said before that being thankful, well, I was told here a long time ago that gratitude is an action word, and in order to be grateful, you know, you have to do those things. You have to put it into action. You got to be of service, help another addict, and 5 minutes, I got it, thanks. And you know, be of service. That to me, I'm one of the ones that really likes service work. Told my sponsor, I'm like, that was my timer. One of the sickos that likes service work. And I don't know why, but I always have. Maybe because it makes me feel like I am doing something. And because in my life, I was not ever really a part of something like that. And I never really, until I got clean, had like a job or a career or any of that. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But anyway, it's been really an honor to be here with everyone. I truly hope and pray that 2021 brings us some healing, some love, some joy, some freedom. And thank you again, Lee, for allowing me to share tonight with everyone. And I will pass it on.
Thanks, Alicia. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Alicia.